Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video. In this one, we are meeting up with our buddy Matt Downs from TRICKEDTINS. I went out and met up with him just a few days ago to see his latest build. And this is something that I would like to continue doing, is just kind of following his work. I think that he makes some of the craziest and coolest Jonboats out there. And this is one of his newest ones called Mary Jane. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and stick around for the end, and I'll talk a little bit about pricing and a couple other things.
What's going on, guys? Matt Downs here with TRICKEDTINS, and today I'm out here on the Chick River with my buddy Matt Striker with SB Fishing. I got something cool for you guys to see. It's a really unique boat, to say the least. I put a lot of work into it and fixed it up, made it real nice. The customer has no idea what this boat's gonna look like. He just gave me free run with it. He did pick the turf color, and other than that, he really has no idea what it's gonna be. So it's gonna be a pretty cool reveal. But I'm gonna go ahead and give you all the rundown. This is a 1648 all weld, which was a very nice constructed boat. I was very impressed with the way that the squareness of everything and just the overall integrity of the hull seems to be pretty good quality. I just wanna let y'all know the name of this build is Mary Jane. It's kind of a theme build. You know, they just legalized marijuana here. Figured we'd do something a little different. And once I saw this turf, the Rasta, I just figured we'd run with it. And Mary Jane seems like a pretty cool name for a boat. You can see we got the stickers all over this thing. The turf is very loud, lots going on with it. This Hummingbird Helix 10 right here, I put this on a custom graph bridge. I wanted something different, something to be kind of hidden and kind of make it look like there's not anything around it, but it also gets it up pretty tall so you can see it easily when you're standing up. It has a Minn Kota Ulterra 24-volt trolling motor. Pretty cool, pretty standard stuff. But yeah, so that brings us into the first compartment here. This build is not as elaborate as some of my other builds, but it's kind of a middle of the pack build minus all the decals and paint. But the actual deck framing is pretty simple. The whole front deck consists of the original live well, and I did not plumb all this. This was already in here when I got the boat from the customer, but this is a very big live well, and you can fit some big fish in here. It's equipped with the flow right system. This hatch here next to the live well is basically just an electrical access panel. You can take these two screws out, remove the pan. You can get to the filters to change the filters out on your pumps if need be, or if your wiring goes bad. It's basically just an access, and you can also use it as a little storage or, you know, dry box, whatever you need. All right, so this is our main hatch in the front deck. It's big, which is cool because it gives you room to access all the storage you have inside of here. I actually had one of my employees built this deck and framed it out a couple years ago. You know, I got to the point where I wanted to finish the build up for him, so I threw a little extra metal in here just to give him some storage. But he can house 8 Plano boxes here. That's about all that he carries with him, so that's all he wanted. He still has storage on either side and storage up on either side of the batteries. There's 3 Dakota lithium 54 amp hour batteries in here. And I think it keeps down a little bit of the weight just having one hatch in here, because this is a lot heavier boat than some of the weld builts or Alumacrafts. It's all weld. It's a very, you know, heavy boat. The gauge thickness of it I think is 0.10, so it's a little thicker than some of the other hulls. It definitely adds some weight to it. Like I was saying, one of my employees built the front and back deck and the floor 3 or 4 years back, and then when I got it, none of these side panels were in here. I wanted to add something to tie it in. I actually had these hatches left over from another order that I did, and they were the wrong size, so they fit perfectly into this section right here. And all I did was frame it out, add this face on it, basically to make it like a little box. I figured this could basically be for all your soft plastics. You know, you could stick your bags in here, maybe throw some dividers in there, whatever you want to use it for. This interior pan has a couple screws in the bottom, and it can be removable in case you need to access wires or run anything inside of there, or you lose something. That's the passenger side. That brings us to the driver's side. I wanted to do something that would be a little bit different, and I housed my electronics inside of this panel on this side. He's got his hydraulic jack plate switch here. All these switches are hooked up to LED lights, fuse panel, and then his live well timer is right in the front of that box right there. It just gives you a little bit of extra storage in here. I just think it looks cool because it's something different, you know. This was basically, it had some of his batteries in here originally, and it was all chopped up, so I just turned it back into a giant storage box. It's the entire back bench. It's all wide open, so you can fit all your gear in here. Very simple. All these hatches also have the LED lights in them. These hatches are actually the older style hatches I used to make. Nothing wrong with them, they're just a little bit different style. You know, he already had them in here, so I just cleaned them up, painted them, and reused them for this build. This brings us into our last hatch, which is it's set up like all the other builds. It's got a gas tank. There's actually a small lawnmower battery in here to control the hydraulic jack plate and the electric start on the motor. And there's a 3-bank battery charger in here that's charging the lithiums, which has the plug outlet for it right here. The Suzuki motor on here is a 2017 9.9 with a 20 horsepower ECU upgrade, and it's paired with this hydraulic jack plate. It also has power tilt and trim. You can really plane this thing out, and I'm kind of excited to actually see how much speed we can get out of it with all the variables I can control on this motor, so stay tuned. Your chariot has arrived, sir. Alright guys, so as you know, all my builds are tricked out. They got lots of LEDs. This one is the same. It's got these cool strip LED red lights on the outside all the way down, and on the interior it has the green on both rails. We're gonna go out and run this thing a little more. Alright guys, so you saw the boat. We had a good time out here. We're gonna go do some fishing. But before I go, I just want to let you guys know that this video obviously is on SBFISHINGTV. There's gonna be a lot more in-depth build video that I put on my TRICKEDTINS YouTube channel. And it's actually gonna have the customer reveal, because like I said earlier, he has not seen this boat, and I want you guys to get his reaction the same way I get it on camera the first time he sees it. So make sure you check me out.
So if you thought that my boat was crazy, I think this one might outdo it for it. Just how loud that thing is. It is very, very bright and definitely an attention grabber. So I asked Matt how much that something like this would cost, just to get the metal work done at least. So the front deck, back deck, you have the sidewalls, and he said for that it's between $3,500 and $4,000. So if any of you guys are gonna ask that, that's probably his range as far as something like Rob's boat, Mary Jane. If you guys have any other questions for Matt, or if you had interest in a build, make sure you click the link down in the description below. You can check him out on Facebook, Instagram, and his website, TRICKEDTINSJONBOATS.com. Also, don't forget to click the link for his YouTube channel and go check out the reveal video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more boat reveals from Matt and TRICKEDTINS, make sure you leave a thumbs up on this video. And if you're not already subscribed, please click that subscribe button for me. We'll see you guys on the next one. Right, Goose?